Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Evolving Entrepreneurial Podcast. We are very excited to have you.
Welcome everyone to the Evolving Entrepreneurial Podcast. I am your host, Coach Carter. Today we have Brittany Reynolds in the house today. She is the founder and owner of Andre Heavenly Homecare Agency, also known as AHHA. How are you doing today, Brittany?
How are you?
I'm doing good. You know what? I just want people to know that I met Brittany through a networking event. And I just want to
Mm-hmm.
say that because it's so important to like go to these events, to go to networking
Mm-hmm.
events and then mingle with other entrepreneurs because just
Mm-hmm.
like we're here today on a podcast interview, you never know what those connections may lead to. And one thing I remember about Brittany, because you actually gave a shock value for me because a lot of times people don't be as honest as you. And when you first came in and people was asking, they was asking us the questions, oh, why did you become an entrepreneur? Why did you start? And sometimes people want to have like deeper meanings and they want to make sure that they sound professional. But Brittany was straight up
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't want to work for nobody. I don't like working for
I
nobody.
don't. I can't. Don't tell me what to do. I be so irritated. I will look at you like you stupid. Like what? No.
Tell me how you got to that point. Like, where was you working? What industry was you working? And how did you realize, like, you know what? I don't like working for nobody else.
Well, I was PCT, which is a CNA, at Franciscan Health um Hospital, better known as St. James. I've been there for 8 years. I was there for a long time, and most people know Brittany gonna do her work. Just don't bother her. So, so that's how I knew. Like when my boss, like when she called me, I'm like, what I do? No, yeah, I was just checking on you. You didn't do anything, like so. Don't bother me. I know my job. I know my job. So I knew right then and there, like, nah, I can't do
Do
this.
you think that had anything with you being there for a long time? You said you was there for 8 years. A lot of times, some people get burnt out, and like you said, you have sometimes newcomers come that's younger than you, try to tell you what you could, but what you need to do. But you
No,
said you know how to do your job. Did that have anything to do with it?
no, not at all. I can't do it. Nope. And I love patient care, especially in a hospital setting. So I've been there for so long and people barely knew who I was. It
Mm.
was times people would be like, are you new? I would talk more to the patients than I do my coworkers. It just get kind of messy in any work field. It get kind of messy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I made it a point to myself to kind of just withdraw. I talked to certain people, and then that withdrawal taught me, like, oh no, this not it. This not it.
Okay. So what made you say, since you're already in this field, in a similar field, what made you decide, like, hey, I kind of know this area. This is what I know. This is what I've been doing. What made you decide when you did want to go ahead and start your own business to still kind of be in that field and do home care?
I started home care when I was 18, and I remember I was talking to this guy. I'm like, I want to open up my own company because I didn't like how the company was running, and I'm like, I feel like I could do this. I want to work. I want to open up my own company. I want to, and I talked about it for years.
Mm.
So me and my cousin were talking, and I'm like, I am so sick of this job. Like the nurses was getting on my nerve. They was lazy, and I'm just like, I just need to do something on my own. And she's like, you've been talking about home care for years. Why don't you just do it? I looked at her like, you right. So that's how that started.
Okay, did it just take for somebody else to believe in you, to push you, or just to say like you can do this? Did it just take somebody else saying, "Hey, you can actually do this" for you to do it?
Yes, honestly, because I doubt myself a lot, and I was always put down a lot, and I had so many failures and rejections, so I was a lot
Mm.
discouraged, not a little, a lot discouraged. So,
Okay.
yes, so in
So
that
during
deep,
that process, like how was you able to continue to motivate yourself? Because starting a business ain't nothing easy.
it
So
ain't
how was you able to
easy.
motivate yourself to actually follow through with it?
Going to work every day, doing 12 hour, 16-hour shifts. My mom, she was just so excited, my sister, and talking like YouTube and doing my own research. So that kind of motivated me, like, oh, okay, I could do this, I could do that. And then seeing that I actually can do it, like when I turned in the application and then they ask for something back, I will kind of get frustrated. And then when I do the document and send it back, and they like, all right, that's approved now, send this. So I'm like, okay, girl, okay, you getting somewhere. So,
So
yes.
what market research is so important in understanding
Yeah.
like, okay, this is where I want to be, this is what I have to do. How did you do your market research? I know you said YouTube and we all love us some YouTube University. So I know YouTube can be a great start. Like what all places did you look and like how did you do your research from just understanding your field, your industry?
uh like you said, YouTube, and then just Googling a lot of different agencies, calling them, calling some agencies. A lot of people won't tell you a lot. So you kind of fish around. Little questions lead up to big answers, if that makes sense. And
Yes.
so in this field, I don't understand why people don't help people. I don't. It's
I
enough
was just
money.
gonna say that. I'm
It's
surprised they said something because people like to gatekeep.
Oh my God, it gets on my nerve. That's why when people ask me for help, I try to give it to them, because it's a lot of people in this field that gatekeep so much, as if it's not
Mm,
a lot of seniors or disability people around. Like, you
right.
can't service everybody. It's times where,
Mm-hmm.
so, just fishing around a little bit. And then me, I'm gonna get my answer. I'm gonna get my answer
So
regardless.
you got a go-getter spirit already in
Yes,
you. So you feel
yes,
like that helped. Like, have you always had like a hustling mentality about
yes,
yourself?
I
Yeah.
have.
You know, a lot of times, a lot of people, when they're ready to start a business, a lot of them already they're really big hustlers. They already know how to make their money. They just trying to
Yes.
figure out where to really hone that skill in and where to create something at,
That
right?
is so true. I got pregnant at 14, had a kid at 15. So my mom was a big help, no doubt. But I always felt like, man, no, my family, not just my mom, everybody. We called that little boy the house baby because he bounced like. So I always like, dang, my mama, watching her struggle, and then I just bring a whole new human being in the world. I taught myself how to do hair. I was doing hair out the house, getting extra money, working two jobs. When I was 18, I was working as a caregiver and working at Burger King.
Mm.
Um, I was going to school. Like I said, I got a lot of rejections. So I, 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 I know how to get it. I know what to do. So it's just like, are you ready to do this by yourself 24 hours? Do you think you can handle it? So yeah,
That's
I
awesome. So with your kids, I know you was telling me earlier that, your ages with your kids is 5, 16, and 21. How did you navigate business out like with your kids? Because I know that's an extra worry in a way to try to balance that life.
you know what? Honestly, I start bringing them into my world, taking them to events with me. Like, I shut down at 3 p.m. I started seeing that I was neglecting my 5 year old. My other two, they really don't care. They like, girl, get, the 5 year old, he the one, mommy, can we go to the park? Oh, mommy got to do this paper. Mommy got to do this. So what I did was start bringing them into my world. Oh, come to the office with mommy. We're gonna watch TV together. So while I'm in the office, I got some TV show going on, so we watching TV. Um, or we will go to a coffee shop or get pizza, and I'm still working, but I'm still engaging with them. So I just try my best to always mix it so they know, like, this is for the better for all of us.
Yeah.
Mommy doing this for us. She want to
Yeah.
break this generational curse. And then it's kind of my 16-year-old, it's kind of showing her how to do it.
Yeah.
Like showing her how to do the business. Even if she don't want to do it, she'll know what to do.
Yeah, and you know what? That's incredible. And a lot of people, young moms or whatever the case may be, moms, period, bringing your kids into your world, even whether, like you just said, whether they want to do what you're doing or not, you're still teaching them
Mhm.
skills that they're
Yes,
gonna really need in real life once they're grown and
yes.
doing their own thing. So that's incredible that you're doing that.
Thank
Now,
you.
I know that me and you have talked about the name of your business, and I know you gave the story at the
Yeah,
networking event and how your brother passed away. That's the why your name of your business is Andre Heavenly Homecare.
yeah.
Now, when you were sitting down, was that like did you automatically knew that that was going to be the name of your business, or like how did you come to that?
I knew it was Andre something, Andre Heaven. So me and my best friend was on the phone. We was doing the LLC, and then I'm like, I know I want Andre name in it. I just don't know how to incorporate it. So we knew Andre Heaven. So we like Andre Heaven Home Care. That don't sound right. So we going back and forth. And she like, oh my God. She like AHHA. I'm like, okay. She like Andre Heavenly. I'm like, oh girl, that sound good.
Yes.
And so we went back and forth. I knew I wanted to use his name at that time because he played a big role in my success in my life because he was one of my main babysitters. So,
How
um,
old was he? How old were you when he passed?
I know he was 19. I don't know why I can't remember my age. It
Mm.
happened in 2011, November 19th, 2011, and I know he was 19. I, if you ask, I do not remember my age. I don't.
Dude, was it like you said, he was a really big part of help? Did you somehow like shove it down your unconscious? Was it to a point where it was so over consuming where you kind of like blocked it out and try not to think about that?
Yeah, because it was like a rough time in my life. I just moved into my first apartment with my two kids. The job my main job, which was at Christian Community Health Center as a what was I doing? Medical record. They laid
Mm-hmm.
me off. It was just a really hard time for me. They laid me off, so I was back looking for a job. Mind you, I just got my first apartment.
Oh,
So yes,
yeah.
so I don't know. Like at that time, I don't know why I wasn't thinking about my age. I was just like everywhere with it. I was
Yeah.
everywhere with it. Yeah. So when it comes to thinking, remembering my age, I cannot. I don't know. I know I had two kids. I don't even remember their age. I just
Mm.
remember his age
Right.
and his death date. Like I could remember the story, what happened to him, but
Wow.
everybody else. Nothing. Around that time, I can't remember nothing. I
Well,
can't.
a lot of times people don't try to get personal in their business name, and
Hmm.
it can be a bold move. Like, how do you navigate that with marketing and branding?
You know what? Because this guy did tell me in my marketing, he was like, when you think about Andre, you think about a man coming to take care of you. And I'm like, that could be true because when people call me, they say, hey, is Andre available? I'll be like,
Yeah.
he's kind of deceased, but yes. But so I think the backstory kind of helped them understand it. Like, oh, so, and a lot of people do ask me about it. So, why Andre? So, I think the backstory helped with the name. They like, oh, I get it. You want to keep his name alive. That is so beautiful.
Hmm.
So, it's kind of like, it kind of goes. The guy was telling me it was too much, but sometime I advertise A Heavenly, like I changed all my social media to A Heavenly, but I
Hmm.
can't change the Andre on like the clothes I got or the,
Hmm.
the business cards or, so I kind of just be like, hey, if they ask, I'm gonna just tell them, or I just immediately go there like, yeah, Andre is passed. That was my brother.
Yeah. And you know what? I understand where the marketing person is coming from.
Yeah,
However, it's okay to be bold, especially
yes,
with the when the brand is as powerful as it is.
yes, it
So it's
is.
all about how putting it out there and telling the story. So when people hear Andre Heavenly, they automatically know what it's about, where you're
It's a
coming from, and
story. Yeah,
it's a very big connecting. It still goes with the industry that you're in because
yes.
especially due to your brother passing, you're dealing with a lot of people that could be on their deathbed who are about to
Yes,
transition and things like that.
yes,
So it is definitely relatable, and it's very important. Just like you were saying, I think that people need to understand when they're creating a name, it's okay to be bold, it's okay to be
it's
different.
okay. Yes,
Yes, and as long as you back it up with the brand and the story and you're putting it out there, I think that's amazing. That you know what, I don't I'm not surprised that you did that because I feel like you're a risk taker. I really do. I feel like you're bold.
um, everything I have done is kind of like that's why I did create two ebooks. Like I want to show people like I don't want people. Everything I have done with this business has been risky. I want to show people like
Mm.
it's not easy. Let me show you how to do it before. for you be lost like me, and it's like I've been taking so many risks, and it's been good. Like I've been meeting good people.
Yeah.
I have. I've been praying. You know, God has been amazing. Let me say that. God
Yes.
has been amazing. He
Yes.
has.
And I love how you said that. You're really like, here's the box of business. You're really outside of it. And I love that because
Yeah.
people want to play it safe. People want to, even in business, they want to play it safe, which I think
Yes.
that doesn't exist because business, you just can't play it safe.
You don't know
And
what's gonna happen.
you don't. You really don't. And people want to have all their ducks in a row before they make a move. But the reality is you make risk all the time. Yes,
Yes.
calculated risk, but you make risk all the time because even sometimes when it's calculated, the market, anything can happen, like the pandemic or anything that can really
Yes.
take your business to a different turn.
Yes. And then now you have to plan and rethink everything and reprogram stuff. So, I mean, it's gonna be risk no matter what you do, like no matter how you do it.
Yeah.
Some people were born to be entrepreneurs. Some people go to school, and people like me just jumped into it. Like I got to do what I got to do to get out of this situation I'm in, or I'm gonna be in doing this my whole life, and
Hmm.
I don't want to do
And you
this.
know what? You said you was from Harvey. I'm actually from
Oh,
Dalton. I was born and raised
yeah,
in Dalton.
yeah.
Yes,
I think
yes.
we was neighbors.
So, how would you say your environment affected your mindset and to be a person who think outside the box and take bold risks to even be an entrepreneur? How did that shape you?
My environment wasn't the best. You know, I appreciate my mama. She tried her best to make sure we had everything and did what we had to do. But you know, like you could get stuck into like the streets. You could, and I found myself doing that. I did, and then I'm like, no, no, no. You not like everybody else. You got a son. You can't do
Mm-hmm.
this. You got somebody that's looking up to you. And then not even just a son. My mama got 11 kids. I got kids under me.
Mm.
So I was like out smoking, drinking at a young age, walking the street, and some just clicked. Like, girl, is this gonna be your life your whole life? Like this can't. Next thing you know, you're gonna be selling drugs. Like, well, no, no. Yeah. And then I'm not gonna lie, the people that were surrounding me, I was around my longtime friend Jakara. You know, I appreciate her and her mama because you know having a baby young, they never made me feel no type of way. Other people was
Right.
just looking at me like, you know, they
Judging.
never met. Yes, and Jakira grew up to be an amazing woman, and you know, and she started hanging out with people. They went to college.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember being pregnant with my second child. We all at the mall. Shakara, Brittany, get out the house. Come on, come on, come on. I'm like, okay. And we met these group of guys and they was going around asking everybody what college they went to. And I was stuck because I'm just a pregnant girl, no
Mm.
high school diploma, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm 19, second child. I'm like, so I started hanging out with a group of people that wanted more for themselves.
Yeah. That's
So
big
yeah,
right there. That's a
yes,
big that'll make the
yes,
difference.
yes. Birds of a feather. No matter like it's some stuff that my girls do that I don't, but they do flock together. If you hanging out with girls that don't want nothing, eventually you're gonna fall into that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I was hanging out with women, well, young women that wanted more. They had jobs. They was going to school and working, you know, and I just admire that, you know. I even
Yeah.
admire the woman she is now. She's
Mm-hmm.
a whole nurse practitioner, you know, like
Nice. Okay, she
yes,
went all the way up.
she ain't playing. She wasn't playing, you know. So me and her was just talking about that like who's to think us out of everybody doing what we doing. I said,
Wow.
God is amazing, you know,
Yes.
and I appreciate her because thinking back, like one of the young women I hung out with is an alcoholic and do drugs, and uh, it was once told like, well, if you would have stayed hanging out with her, no, if I would have stayed hanging out with her, I probably would have be like her,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So God definitely pushed me and shift me in a different direction, and I'm so grateful for that. I am.
Yeah, and I think that's very important because even when I lived in Dalton, and I know when it was turning like start turning for a little,
Hmm.
the environment started being a little bad, the neighborhood. I know my mom, she kept us occupied, whether it's we going to a
Hmm.
library or in activities to avoid us from going down the wrong path or being in the streets or anything like that,
Yeah.
trying to keep us busy. But it's very important that you said, regardless of the environment, whether you're in an inner city, whatever the case may be, you can make it out. You don't have to be the product of your environment. You
Mhm.
just have to you have to surround yourself with better people so that you can
Have
begin to
to.
think like them and act like them and do like them to not fall in the trap of that environment.
We have to stop making ourselves statistics. We have to.
Yes.
And I try to tell my kids that, like, let's try to beat the odds. Let's do this. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard. It's gonna be hard. I don't think nothing. I always tell myself nothing worth having comes easy. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
not gonna be easy. Like, it's times where I do break down, and I'm like, if it was meant to be easy, everybody would have it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody will be doing it. It's worker bees and it's the queen bee. And right now you decided to be the queen bee. Put on your big girl panties and do what you have to do.
Yes. Now, did you ever get a high school diploma? Did you need that to be in the field that you're
Yes.
doing?
No,
Okay.
I didn't, but I did, when my brother got murdered, it's funny, I went to a church to get it. He went to this church to get his high school diploma, and he was,
Okay.
yes. I can't remember if he completed it or he was close to completing it. But, me and all my brothers, and not all of them, but a few of us, we decided to go to the same church and we decided to finish it and honoring him. Like, bro, we did it.
That's amazing. I
Yes,
love that.
yes. So, and I'm proud of my mama kids because everybody thought, 11 kids, y'all ain't gonna be nothing. Margaret and her kids, I'm proud of them. They all doing
Mhm.
something, all of us in college or got a degree. The youngest girl just graduated. My other little sister just got her bachelor's or master's. My little brother, he's going back to school. My other brother, a teacher.
That's
Um,
amazing. I love
Yes,
that.
they all making good money, taking all my brothers making good money, taking care of their family. I'm proud of them, and we beat the
Mhm.
odds. Margaret kids weren't supposed to make it because there was so many of us.
Mm.
So,
I love
so
that though. My dad parents had 11 kids and they grew up in Allgate Garden. They grew up poor and a lot
yeah,
of them they all pretty much are doing well for themselves and whether they're entrepreneurs or working good jobs and they wasn't like I did have one auntie who passed away from an
mhm.
overdose recently actually
I'm
last year.
sorry.
No, yeah, last year February, if I'm not mistaken, February or April. She did pass away from an overdose. However, all of them, none of them, of the 10 of them, they wasn't in the streets.
Yes,
Um, no, 9 of them. Sorry, I do have an uncle who do struggle with it, but he has been clean for a while
that
now.
is amazing.
He went to an AA program and he's been clean for a while. So, like you said, like having 11 kids, having so many kids,
Yes,
growing up poor, people don't think you're gonna turn out to be anything, but you can beat the odds, definitely.
yes.
Okay. So what would you say are some of the biggest obstacles in your business that you had to face and how did you overcome them?
How am I overcoming them? Because it's still something. I'm gonna tell y'all, with this business, marketing is the number one tool, and then I have a lot of state funded clients, you know, and they pay you when they want to.
Yes.
But
I've heard.
I don't think it's they fault. I really feel like they are overworked, understaffed. They are.
Mm,
I really feel like it because and then some of them are mean, but some of them are super nice. Like, oh my God, Brittany, I am so sorry. I'm processing the payment now. And some of
mm.
them don't respond and just process the payment like, well, I did it. Like, no, you didn't. And I got to pay my girl, you know? So,
Yes.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard financially. So I would say, and that's what I'm telling everybody, like even my friends that's starting, get your credit in order. Get your finances in order. Always have capital. I don't have capital. I didn't have capital. My credit score was down. you know, and it's crazy because it just got down.
Mm.
So when I started the business, that's when everything. When I started my business, my mom got sick. She eventually passed, and then 3 months later,
Did she?
one of my sisters passed. Yep,
Oh
my oldest
wow.
sister, the oldest child. Yep, 3 months after my mom passed, she passed.
Wow.
So yes, so I was the primary caretaker for both of them. I'm
Mm.
talking about POA. They calling me to make decisions. I got one phone trying to talk to a client, the other phone talking to a doctor. I'm pulled everywhere. So I started like slacking at work. So I had to use credit cards. I had to. I had to, and that's a hole that I wouldn't have dug myself in.
Mm.
So financially, like I tell everybody, fix your credit, fix your credit. Try to gain that business credit, so you could get the loans and try to get grants. Get your SAMs, get your GATA, get all that. So when you about to start hiring people, start doing what you got to do, it
Yeah.
won't be no problem, none.
So how did
So
you deal? Because that's a lot, and I've heard of some people just, especially during COVID, a lot of people left kind of like the healthcare field because it was just overwhelming. So many
hmm
people passing away, and just deal with it. How do you cope with this mentally? Because you're in a time of someone's life that's very, very critical. How are you mentally coping with this?
therapy and God, like I told myself last year when my sister passed, when my mama passed, it hurted. It hurted bad. But when my sister passed, it hurted. It cut so deep because that was my best friend. We started this together.
Mm.
We was doing this together. Financially, she was just throwing stuff in. I was doing all the lead work, but I would
So
be
you
so,
started with your oldest sister.
yep. And my mom was
Wow.
so excited. My mama was a caregiver, and she like, I can't wait to bring my clients to your agency.
Nice.
Yes. So it's unfortunate neither one of them see the growth, but I'm blessed because God and my therapist, like my therapist, I knew about God, but she looked at me like, girl, you need to get more spiritual. Get your tail in that church, because I was severely depressed.
Your therapist said that.
Oh, she's so God fearing. She is so God. She ain't
Okay.
playing with me.
So So my question is, because I know they do questionnaires and surveys. Did you request a like someone who believes in God? Because I know you can say, "Oh, I'm religious," whatever. So she just that it's a lot of both
Friends,
going around in your life.
yes,
Because a lot of times they try to, even if they are that right, they try
yeah.
not to bring that into therapy, especially
Not
if they're
her,
going on a certain type of method or whatever the case may be.
not her, not that lady. I was
Yes.
talking my homegirl. She actually owned a business too. Jasmine, Secure the Look. Y'all need to look up. We were talking, and she like, Brittany, you went to therapy? I'm like, yeah, man. It's one of the therapists I had. This girl, she I know it's HIPAA, but I'm trying to see how I could work for you. Get in the field. I'm looking at her like, girl, I'm crying about the field, and you trying to like you doing you ain't supposed to be doing this. You doing the wrong thing. So I was telling Jasmine about that, and she just was like, I'm gonna put you on to somebody. I'm gonna tell you, she bold, she ain't God fearing, but I'm gonna put you on. I'm like, all right, we're gonna see, because I done been through like two already. So, man, that first session, that girl, because she younger than me, I'm 36, I forgot how old she is. But, a young black woman, I'm like, man, she probably ain't gonna last.
Why did you now you know what? Why did you think that? Why did you feel like she wasn't
You
gonna
know,
last? Said a young black woman.
young, and some young girls still young. Like I be looking at my little sisters, they love to party. They so young. I just be looking at them like, and I'm used to my older sister. She was 42 when she passed. Um, so she was probably like 8 years older than me, and I'm hanging around her and her friends.
Mm-hmm.
So young girls, I'm just looking like,
Well, I'm
eh.
glad that you said she did a phenomenal job,
Oh
and that's
my
good
God,
though.
that
You're
girl,
gonna have to send me her contact information because
yes,
you know
Andrea.
my biggest fear is like getting a therapist and then like I don't like her now. It's like I gotta divorce her and find another one.
Honestly, I literally had
Yeah.
to stop texting them. Like, oh, she stopped texting me. Stop responding to their calls. Like, if it was so like, oh my God, she keep calling.
Yeah, but I love that. And some people, and
Mhm.
you know, because for my bachelor's degree, I double major in psychology and political science. But then I'm like, I don't want to be a therapist because I feel like I'm biased. And you know, as a therapist, you have to be unbiased. But I grew up from like a religious household, spiritual, and I'm like, I believe in God real heavily. And it's gonna be to a certain point. I would have done just like that, baby. Just go to church. Like you need to get more with God. That would have been me. And that's why I'm like, this is
Listen,
not the field for me. So I'm
that's
amazed. I'm amazed that she did that, and I love that
so
she did
much.
that.
She was just, and I'm just like, Andrea, how do I just like, where I'm gonna find time to go to church? He said, you find time to go out, right? He said, make God a lifestyle. This is
Yes,
a lifestyle for you. You're gonna
yes,
incorporate him, bring him into this.
yes.
And when she told me that, I'm like, I text my friends like I just heard the dopest thing in my life, and I think I'm gonna make God a priority. That's why I told them that, and they like, do what you got to do. And I've been to church every Sunday. I go to Pastor John Hannah. If I don't go, I'm on the TV. If I don't go to Bible study, I'm watching it on TV. I know my kids getting on my nerve. I'm getting on their nerve because I'm black. Like I switched my whole like God and being in the spirit switches your mindset. Like I would think rejections and fails is just like, oh, this is my life, but it could be God protecting me for certain stuff.
Yes,
It is definitely God
yes.
protecting me from certain stuff. So it just switched my mindset. Like, stop being so negative, girl. You failed, okay, and get up and do it again. You
Right.
got only one night, cry for one night, get up and get on your butt again. Man, yeah. So she put me on, and she be on it. I'm finna
I
send you
love
this
that.
scripture. I'll be like, okay, send it. I'm sending you this sermon and you better watch it. I had real bad daddy issues and I just had so much hate in my heart for everything. Like, oh, I'm so mad at my mom. Oh, for dying. And she like, girl, she dead now. How are you mad at she what you gonna do? Go beat her up in heaven? I'm like, I might. so, so she be sending me stuff like, yeah, this is what the Bible say. Get over it. You holding all this stuff in your heart, it ain't gonna make it better. It's like,
You know what? Because I have a sister, and you sound like how my your used to be, your past, how you
yeah,
was, sound like how my sister is now. She has a lot of potential and all that, but she just have so much
trying to
build up
switch
and so
that
much hate
mindset.
inside.
You could be holding yourself back from so
Yeah.
much. And I realized that like I have been holding myself back. I have
Mm,
been, not could. I was holding myself back, like the negative attitude, the just the attitude in general and the hatred towards my parents. Like that's a sin. Like honor thy parents, you know? So
mm-hmm.
you might not like their ways. Like, how are you mad at a dead woman? Girl, get over yourself.
Mm.
So I had to tell my dad, like, I don't want you to respond, but I want you to understand how this hurts. I'm not trying to be rebellious. I'm not trying to be angry with you no more. I don't want that in my heart no more. It feels tell her I'm telling when she let it go, you could feel it. You could feel it that weight just gone off you.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. That's all I had to do. Like, oh my I could breathe. Like I'm not walking like if I see my daddy, I'm gonna hug him, we're gonna have a conversation now. It ain't no man, no. Get over it. It ain't no, oh, I'm so mad at my sister for that. They left me with these other kids, but all the other brothers and sisters now they all calling me. They so used to calling my mama and my sister. Now they calling me. I just be on the phone like, talk to God. Pray about it.
Yeah, but you know what? That's the best advice you can give a person, and that's how we was that's why they say train up a child in the way that he should go. And it's important because like once you have it in you, when you have those rough times, you will know that hey, God won't put too much on me than I can bear. You know to give your burdens to God so you won't have to feel that way. Or when you feel like you failed or you have failed or whatever, you like you said, because they had tell us that all the time. God was blocking something for you that
Right.
wasn't for you. You know what I mean? So your mentality, to know that, to have God within you, your mentality changes, and like the
which
way
is
you view
everything.
failure, it changes.
Yeah, it does. A lot of people, that's why I be telling my brothers and sisters, like, all this anger has to go because you gonna grow old and bitter. You gonna see that, and it's just like, no, let it go. Pray. I'm not gonna argue with nobody. I'm gonna pray for you, sister. Good luck. Good luck with life. I ain't got it for you.
Okay.
And
So okay,
Brittany,
you have been through a lot. Your journey
so
has
much.
been a trying one, and you have taken each step of it boldly. What would you give if you had a room full of young women just like yourself? What advice would you tell them?
Use like I use all this as a strength. I wasn't gonna allow it to tear me down. That's what the devil wanted. Don't
Mm,
allow it to break you. You can't allow it to break you. Use it as a strength. Like that should make you want to get up and go harder. Like, oh dang, they
yes,
just said no, let me find a different way. You know, like
yes.
you have to, because and then I do tell them, like, feel sorry for yourself for one day. I do give myself a day. When I need it, I give myself a day. My
Mm-hmm.
mental health is worth way more than any of this. It really is. But I still use it as my strength. My mama wanted me to do this so bad. I was in the process of doing it when she got sick. I was typing a paper when the doctor called, like, your mama's stroke was that severe. No, I was at work. And then, no, no, I wasn't. I was typing my paper when she went to the hospital. I was making documents for IDPH to get my license for my home care.
Okay.
And yes, and I just I say this what she want me to do, I'm gonna do it. My brother, he watched my kids for me for, he saw something in me, so he was helping me. So I'm doing it for Andre. I'm doing it for Margaret. I'm doing it for Clinton. I have to do it. Like I always tell them to use it as a strength. Like let it don't, cause everything we go through and weeping and crying, like, to me, people use that as excuse to stay down. That's an
Mm-hmm.
excuse. Like, don't. You got one day,
I love that. That should be like a motto or something. You got one day.
one
Like for
day.
real.
Get over yourself.
Have you ever thought about doing training classes or anything
Yes,
to teach other women to do what you're
yes,
doing?
I have. I do have an ebook to teach the one, because I do have a lot of people that call me like, how did you do that? What are you doing? Like, what is this? Like, what do I get?
Yeah.
So I did create an ebook to help a lot of women, and if they want further instructions or training, I will be a mentor. Um, my best friend told me to be the mentor I can't find. So I appreciate the
Yes.
trials. I appreciate all the errors, because it is teaching me how to become a better business owner. It is. And it's some stuff, it's a lot of stuff that I know that big names be looking at me like, hey, now how you do that? Oh, let me show you. Come here.
Mm.
So, and it's good because everything I did from scratch by myself. Documents. Most people bought their procedure and policy. I created my own procedure and policy.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
So what's the name of your ebook so the listeners who was interested, they can be able to go and look for
I
it?
didn't get the name yet. We doing the little edits. It's just I don't have a
So it's
name.
still in the
It's still in
works.
the works.
You haven't put it out yet.
No, I
Got it.
have
Got it.
one ebook that's finna get put out. That's why my friend was calling me. It's called How to Care for Your Loved Ones, because a lot of people start this home care process when they already transitioning or they burnt out from being a caregiver, and it's just like, once you see these little signs, take these steps immediately. Don't wait.
Mm. Yeah, it's a lot. So tell the people where they can find you, your social media
Yes,
handlers,
yes.
anything that you want them to know. Let them know where to find
Y'all
you.
can find me. Now y'all can find me. Y'all can call the number 708-960-4529, or A Heavenly Home Care on Facebook, and the same on Instagram. Website is Andre Heavenly Homecare.com. I think. But if you call me, I'm always there to answer. I'm always there to answer questions. My turnaround response time is less than 24 hours. So yeah.
Okay, and I'll definitely, so for those who are watching on different platforms, you will always see her handlers and her information in the information box, the comment section, or whatever the case may be, the description box. You all will be able to see her handler if you guys miss anything, or I definitely put the link to your website and everything so they can have access to that.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yes,
Thank
I
you.
really enjoyed talking with you, Brittany. I already knew that I was going to enjoy because I just remember how you were at the networking event, and I was very interested in getting to know like your
Thank
backstory and everything.
you.
So thank you so
No
much for coming on, and
problem.
hopefully we cross paths
Oh,
once
we
again.
are. We are.
Yeah, thank you so much.